So, if you've ever wanted to buy a nice watch, and if you know nothing about watches, you've probably Googled best nice watch to buy. And there's a list of about 20 watches you will see over and over and over again. So, to save you Googling, I'm here to rank the 10 best watches and go over the pros and cons of each of them because there's a lot of nuance to this stuff. As we go along, please know I am incredibly biased. These are my opinions that are subjective and change regularly. So, I seem like a pretty trustworthy advisor. These will be graded on this formula. This looks dorky because math is gross, but it's actually pretty easy to understand. Best nice watch equals value plus design plus build quality plus movement plus je ne sais quoi. I will order these from cheapest to most expensive because there's a good deal of variance in the world of watches. And please take the word cheap with a giant pinch of salt. Can you take a giant pinch? A giant grain of salt? If you spend any time in the internet circles that I do, it is really just a bunch of affluent people going crazy over this watch. And for good reason. It is $20, it tells you the time, it's robust and nostalgic. I have seen members of the British SAS, the British version of Delta Force, wearing this as their daily wear, and it is rugged enough for them, so it is probably rugged enough for you. Now, going back to our equation, value, 10 out of 10, design, 10 out of 10, build quality, 9 out of 10, movement, 7 out of 10, and je ne sais quoi, 3 out of 10. Did I just get myself canceled? That might get you canceled in the watch world, I don't know. But before you get mad about my je ne sais quoi rating, hear me out. I have the F91W, I love the F91W, but I almost never find myself choosing it. It's just collecting dust in a drawer, and that's why I rated it so low. So, Seiko as a brand is hard to argue with. Almost everything they do is very good, it's charming, and comes in for an achievable price. The most versatile Seiko is the Seiko 5. Go anywhere, do anything look, great price. Once again, how can you argue with this? I have the Seiko 5 GMT, so the same thing, but with the GMT functionality. I love it. Everything is quite good. Value, 10 out of 10. Design, 6 out of 10. Build quality, 7 out of 10. Movement, 7 out of 10. And je ne sais quoi, 8 out of 10. They are great value propositions, in-house movements, although the movement accuracy isn't the best, and sometimes missing the little details, and the designs can wear a little bit chunky. But for the price, what you receive is a very, very good watch, far better than they have any business being. The Hamilton Khaki Field Mechanical is a robust field watch that is delightful to wear, versatile at 38mm, very sporty feeling, and great value at £545. Value, 10 out of 10, design, 8 out of 10, build quality, 8 out of 10, movement, 7 out of 10, and je ne sais quoi, 7 out of 10. I would never discourage someone from buying this watch. Fantastic value. And if you want something a little bit more elevated, I would recommend the Khaki Field Murph. So this is Tissot reviving a watch from their archives and jumping on the integrated bracelet 70s inspired sports watch trend. But you know, this is great. So there's a quartz variation which retails for £335 or a mechanical movement variation for £640. It really isn't cheap, but if you want a great watch for under $1,000, this is it. Versatile style, you can dress it up, dress it down, solid construction, and when I was last in Switzerland, this is the watch that I saw the most people wearing. Let's rank it. Value, I'm giving 8 out of 10. Design, 8 out of 10. Build quality, 8 out of 10. And movement, 7 out of 10. The je ne sais quoi is there for me, 8 out of 10. It's Tag Heuer time, baby. If you guys follow the channel, you know I love Tag Heuer. I really wish someone from their PR team would reach out to me. If I could get some press pieces through, the videos I would make. I like Tag Heuer a lot. They are a special brand. They have this charm that not many brands have. And I think They are going in a good direction at the moment. The watch I see of theirs all over the internet is the Carrera date, which is rock solid, really classic looking watch, feels good on the wrist. The only thing I'd say is that it feels a bit cheaper than where they've priced it. Maybe it's the bracelet construction or something. I think if you're paying £3,000 for a watch, it has to be something that wows you. I still quite like this. I just couldn't bring myself to buy one of these with how they're currently priced, personally. Value, 6 out of 10. It's not bad value, it's just not great. Design, 8 out of 10. Build quality, 6 out of 10. And movement, 7 out of 10. I think you can get this style of watch better from other brands. My TAG Heuer recommendation for someone who wants a nice watch would be the Carrera chronograph. I think this is TAG at their best. You might be thinking, wow, Brittany sure is great at judging things that are at their best. And you would be right. So what about socks, Brittany, and underwear, and premium basics? And this is where Bombas come in, who just so happen to be today's fabulous video sponsor. Bet you didn't know I'm wearing some awesome Bombas socks right now. These are brown bear, what do you see? Wow, the flexibility. Something you probably don't know about me, I love socks. I think when you have a style as boring as mine, you need the socks to do some heavy lifting. Bombas makes the most comfortable socks I've ever worn, and I'm not being hyperbolic. I think it's because they've removed that seam in some way, but I don't understand the science behind it. But they are so comfortable, and they're a purchase you can feel good about because with them, it is one purchased and one donated. So the whole reason why Bombas exists is because the founders learned that socks is the #1 most requested item in homeless shelters. And now, years later, the mission is still the same. It's a purchase you know that is good, and also these socks freaking rock. So I got the Eric Carle calf socks because I have a toddler and toddler is life, but there are so many different styles, lengths, colors, and print options. Even before Bombas wanted to work together, I bought a pair of their socks. They're my sporty socks, but now these bad boys are my dressing up for mom's group socks. And also, they're not just socks. They have underwear, t-shirts, slippers, all of the basics you need in your life. You were going to buy them anyways. Why not buy them from a purpose-driven brand with over 150 million items donated? Feel good and do good with Bombas, knowing your purchase is doing some real good in the world. New customers get 20% off their first purchase. Just go to bombas.com and use my code BRIT20 for 20% off. Thank you so much to Bombas for sponsoring this video. Now, this is a watch that every list is getting right, and we're now entering a new price category. So everything from here on out will be more than $6,000 USD or £5,000 because I live in the UK. The IWC Mark XX is a banger of a watch. It is that recognizable IWC pilot style watch, but in a far more practical size at 40mm and with a bracelet option. I'd recommend buying the bracelet option, but then also buying the strap on the side. This has 20mm between the lugs, so really versatile to swap out for straps. Value, 8 out of 10. Design, 8 out of 10. Build quality, 8 out of 10 again. Movement, 7 out of 10. And je ne sais quoi, 7 out of 10. This might be one of the most iconic watches ever made. And if I see someone out and about wearing a nice fancy watch here in Bristol, the city where I live, it is most likely an Omega Seamaster Diver 300. This is also the watch that I'm wearing. So once again, very biased. This is a really popular gateway into Omega. As I said, iconic design, whether you love it or hate it. And I find it fascinating how this has become so iconic and recognizable in a relatively short amount of time. Most icons in the dive watch world were introduced in the 1950s, but the Seamaster Diver 300 was introduced in the 1990s. Really not that long ago. Am I right, guys? Iconic design language with the scalloped bezel, lyre-shaped lugs, wave motif on the dial. The bracelet is recognizable from across the room. And whether you love it or hate it, the helium escape valve is distinctive. I freaking love this watch. I can't even pretend to be impartial towards it. Another thing, I've been keeping my eye on the price of this watch for a while now, and it's remained £5,600 here in the UK for a couple of years now, which is unheard of. Value for money, 10 out of 10. Design, 9 out of 10. Build quality, 7 out of 10. I've been hearing lots of complaints around clasp issues, and that's the only reason why it's going as low as 7. Movement, 9 out of 10. And je ne sais quoi, 10 out of 10, baby. Yet another watch I am incapable of being unbiased about, the Cartier Santos. I think this is one of the most interesting go anywhere, do anything watch choices someone could make. It's a very Cartier take on a sporty daily wear. Historically significant, this is based on the watch Louis Cartier made for his aviator friend Alberto Santos Dumont, who was frustrated using his pocket watch while flying. This watch was the first ever men's wristwatch, which is very freaking cool. It's also interesting that the first ever made-for-purpose men's wristwatch was a square piece. The Santos de Cartier has evolved quite a bit since 1904, but still stays faithful to the DNA. It has this really cool strap changing system that allows you to toollessly swap out Cartier straps. Some possible complaints. 1, the amount of polished surfaces. You will scratch this, so it just depends on how okay you are with scratches. And 2, I don't have a number 2. I'm okay with scratches. I think it looks more charming, and there's nothing else to complain about. Value, 8 out of 10. Design, 8 out of 10. And it's only as low as that because of the scratch-hating people. Build quality, 9 out of 10. Movement, 7 out of 10. And je ne sais quoi factor, 10 out of 10. And now, one of my favorite watch brands in the world, and it's embarrassing, and I wish I didn't love them so much. Rolex. When you get a little too deep into watches, you start having a weird relationship with Rolex. But at the end of the day, they are incredibly well-made watches. They pay attention to the details like bracelets, clasps, wearing experience, and they are loved and coveted so much for reasons beyond marketing. So the Rolex Explorer is considered a pretty boring watch, but I think it is more helpful to view it like a good, crisp white t-shirt. It's a classic staple for a reason. These are creeping up a lot in their retail price. I was on the Rolex site recently, and I genuinely didn't realize that the 36 millimeters are now retailing for £6,400 and £6,750 for the 40 millimeters. Whew. I just really don't remember these costing so much. I guess that's just how inflation works. I think I live in 2017 in my head still. So with that said, value for money, 7 out of 10. That might be a bit cold, but I'm putting it there. Design, 9 out of 10. Shout out to the haters who think it's too boring. I don't agree. Build quality, 10 out of 10. Rolex is always rock solid. Movement, 8 out of 10. Superlative chronometer. And je ne sais quoi, 9 out of 10. If you're not as deep into watches, Jaeger-LeCoultre is one of the most well-respected and loved brands in Switzerland. They built their reputation through great timepieces and even supplying the movements to some high horology brands such as Audemars Piguet and Patek Philippe with the caliber 920. They are a very well thought of brand. The favorite watch with the internet is the Reverso because, of course, it's the Reverso. This watch is beautiful looking, has an adorable story, beginning as a watch for playing polo in. Well, colonialism isn't adorable, but that's not what this video is about. And it has a sweet little gimmick, so when you're not playing polo, haha, it's the time. But then when it's time to play polo, you can just flip it around and then your watch is protected. Nowadays, it is just a glorified fidget spinner, but watch collecting has never been a logical thing. The JLC prices have gone insane in the last 4 years, so for value for money, I'm going to be giving this a 6 out of 10. These are massively overvalued. Design, 9 out of 10. Build quality, 8 out of 10. Movement, 9 out of 10. And je ne sais quoi, 11 out of 10. So, the holy trinity of watchmaking includes 3 brands: Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet, and Vacheron Constantin. We will be covering 2 of the 3 brands in this list. I guess you will already know one, but I want you to guess number 2 in the comments down below. And don't look ahead. I just want you to guess right now. And this is also where we enter a new sphere of quite high prices. So the AP Royal Oak prices really vary. They start at around £22,000 or about $30,000 US, and they go all the way up to the dreaded price on request. For our purposes, we will be using the generic 37mm stainless steel. Honestly, I think this is one of the most beautiful watches ever made. If I could afford one, I would buy it in a heartbeat. So this was a historically important model. During the quartz crisis, as more and more watchmakers were shutting up shop because of the lack of demand for mechanical wristwatches, Audemars Piguet completely changed the landscape with this model. This was positioned as a luxury item and not a necessity. On top of that, it was a luxury sports model. So this was a model made to be robust and casual, sporty in design language, almost industrial feeling. The bracelet is beautiful. The minimal use of polishing against the mostly brushed case. I think this is one of the most beautiful watches ever made. The value for money is not all that. It's not as bad as the comment section is going to make it seem. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Design, 10 out of 10. It's an icon for a reason. Build quality, 8 out of 10. Movement, 7 out of 10. And je ne sais quoi, 10 out of 10. The je ne sais quoi is the reason why it's loved so much. When you're wearing it, you feel like $1,000,000. So, for those of you who guessed Vacheron Constantin would be the second member of the Holy Trinity, you were right. The internet freaking loves Vacheron Constantin. Founded in 1755, they are the oldest Swiss watch manufacturer in continuous production. Vacheron produces really beautiful, distinct watches that don't look or feel like anything else. Now, the Overseas is a watch that's kind of in a weird spot to me right now. So it was the spiritual successor of the 222, which was their obligatory 1970s integrated bracelet stainless steel sports watch, uniquely designed by Jörg Heisek rather than Genta, as was the case with Patek and AP. In recent years, VC added the 222 back into the current catalog, leaving the Overseas to kind of stand on its own 2 feet, and I think it's strong enough to do so. It's a great design, very masculine, almost aggressive feeling, really great watch, great value for money. So speaking of which, value I would give 8 out of 10, design 9 out of 10, build quality 9 out of 10, movement 8 out of 10, and je ne sais quoi 9 out of 10. And I think many people are going to find those scores low. Once again, the internet loves Vacheron Constantin. I stand by everything I said. I'll see you in the comment section. So scores on the doors. We've done a point system and math equation with a maximum of 50 points scored to find the best nice watch, B&W. Okay, we've crunched the numbers and I've got to say, I've let you guys down. As a self-proclaimed Rolex fangirl, I have let my community down. The highest scoring, highest ranking watch is the Omega Seamaster Diver 300. I need to go correct whatever went wrong with my system. But for now, this is the internet's favorite watches ranked by a completely flawless, completely objective formula. This wasn't a good video. Thank you to Bombas for sponsoring this video. Thank you for your viewership. Subscribe if you haven't already. And thank you to the Pope tier patrons, whose names will be on the screen right now. Aw, yeah, Pope tier patrons. Their names are on the screen right now. Thank you to the newest Pope tier patrons. Thank you to the oldest Pope tier patrons. and everyone in between. You're also amazing. Thank you so much for supporting my weird little channel. I'm so glad anyone enjoys the work that we do here. I love making it, and thank you. You guys really, really keep the channel going and make it financially viable for me to keep doing this stuff and upgrading the things we are doing, getting better tripods, getting better backdrops, all that fun stuff. So thank you so much. You're the best. You're great. You've never done anything wrong in your lives ever. And even if you don't keep enjoying my channel, I hope you keep enjoying watches forever. They're fabulous. You're fabulous. Bye, guys.